Hi everybody, it's Glenn. I am filming this video on a Saturday afternoon. Now, I'm sure watching my videos you've always wondered, what does Glenn Webb get up to on a Saturday night? Now I'm about to tell you, and you'll probably be disappointed because it's nowhere near as perverse as you imagine. But this Saturday evening I'm off to see Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Yep, you heard me. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. If you've never heard of the movie, it's a horror spoof cult classic. It's kicking off a season of movies here in London at the Prince Charles Cinema. The season's called the Good Bad Movie Club, celebrating everything bad that cinema has to offer us. The season runs for 4 months with a different screening the first Saturday of the month, kicking off, like I said, with Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Followed in July, first Saturday in July, with Garbage Pail Kids the movie. And in August, the first Saturday in August, they are screening Mac and Me, which is a movie so terrible, not even I own it, and I own pretty much every bad movie there is to own. And finally, the season concludes in September, the first Saturday in September, with Masters of the Universe, the live-action movie. So there's a whole host of bad movies for us to get our head around there. They're all 80s movies. It seems the 80s was a great decade for bad cinema. Well, not only bad cinema, really. Bad clothing, bad music, bad haircuts. Everything in the 80s was bad in a glorious let's celebrate it now, we're no longer living in it kind of way. So these movies, they're movies that I loved as a kid. I am literally about to wet myself with excitement. In fact, I have clean underwear just at hand's reach in case I do wet myself. But I'm just totally excited seeing these films. I mean, like I've shown you, I have the DVDs of most of them, able to watch them whenever I please. But it's going to be just a great experience seeing these movies on the big screen. I saw the He-Man movie when I was a kid at the cinema. Those other films only ever existed as videos to rent at my local video shop. So it's going to be quite an experience seeing them on the big screen. I is excited. So the Prince Charles Cinema are encouraging the wearing of clown costume. I myself will not be partaking in clown costuming. I'm taking public transport. If you live in London, you know if you take the bus or tube here, it's 50-50 you're going to get mugged and beaten within an inch of your life. If that happens to me, I'd rather be wearing my civilian clothing as opposed to being mugged in clown costume. That's just me. Sorry, Prince Charles Cinema, to disappoint you. If I do see anybody in clown costume at the screening tonight, I will be sure to take a picture of them and share this with you. As far as Glenn dressing up tonight, I am only going to be putting on my fancy hat. I call this my suave Glen Around Town hat. Hello, ladies. So, Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I'm now going to read a brief synopsis to you, just so you're aware of the hilarity I'm going to be submerging myself in this evening. Here we go. Mike and his sweetheart Debbie are smooching on Lover's Lane when they see what appears to be a meteorite crashing over the horizon. They loosen their lip lock long enough to investigate and find a curious circus tent. There they discover malevolent clowns who stop their victims with popcorn-shooting guns in order to feast on human blood. The unfortunates are then entombed into inescapable cotton candy cocoons. Officer Dave Hansen is called to investigate, with help from Officer Mooney. For those viewers who already think clowns are a little creepy to begin with, this one will push them over the edge. So Killer Klowns from Outer Space does not only exist in the world of cinema, it also exists in the action figure world, which myself and many of you watching occupy 24/7 day to day, every day of the year. Here it is. Yep, this is the Killer Klowns from Outer Space action figure. It's by Sota Toys from their Now Playing series. Now Playing was a series, it kind of emulated Nika's Cult Classics and McFarlane Toys Movie Maniacs in a series consisting of different icons from different horror, sci-fi, cult movies. This is from the second series. There was planned to be a second clown from the movie in the fourth series, which ultimately, unfortunately, was cancelled. Apparently that mould is now owned by the toy company Amok Time, who are rumoured to be releasing it. They've also prototyped another clown figure, which is available for pre-order on their website. It's been a rolling deadline for that figure. It was originally scheduled to come out the middle of 2009. It's now the middle of 2011 and it still hasn't been released. They're still accepting pre-orders. I assume they're only waiting to get enough pre-orders to justify getting that figure into production. It's a catch-22 really. I want to pre-order it, but then I don't want to wait, you know, ultimately what has already been 2 years. I don't want to wait another 2 years to get my figure. So ultimately right now this is the sum of merchandise in the action figure department for Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Now I said I'm not getting into clown costume for this evening, but I'm going to get in spirit with Killer Klowns in my own special way. I'm going to crack open this bad boy clown and have a play around with him, give him a bit of a review for you guys. For all you, any of you mint in packet collectors out there who've just horrified, screaming at the screen, Glenn, don't do it, don't open it. Don't fear guys, I have 2 of these. Let's open this bad boy clown up. So here my clown is in package. Looking great in package there. If I just flip him over to the card back, we get a lot of glare, but lists all the other figures in the series, and also you can just make out here there is a variant to this figure available through Tower Records. Hey, remember them, Tower Records? Now gone belly up, but that's the reason why I have 2 of these clowns. I never could track this one down, so I figured why not buy a second one of these and repaint it a la the variant. Never quite got round to doing that custom project, like 99% of the custom projects in my head. They'll probably never quite see the light of day. Anyway, I'm going to stab this with my craft knife and untwist twisty ties until my fingers bleed. Ta-da! There he is, fresh out of package. And this is a great figure. The detail on him, the sculpt, it's very accurate to the movie. The paint application is amazing. All the stripes on his costume. Has this, you know, the fluorescent orange hair, looks great, that paint. And comes with this great display base which mimics the interior of the Killer Klowns spaceship, which the decor is similar to that of a fairground funhouse or circus tent. And the best detail of the display base there, it comes with this column, has a hook on which you can hang this cotton candy cocoon. This is one of the Killer Klowns victims that's been encased in cotton candy. They of course do this as a food source in the movie, harvesting human beings from cotton candy. The figure itself comes with this gun accessory, which unfortunately the toy doesn't fire popcorn like it does in the movie. Yeah, that's right, they fire popcorn. What else would you expect a clown's gun to fire, right? Duh. Actually, you can kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to focus on that. There is a kind of clear dome here. If you look inside, you can kind of see popcorn in there. A lot of detail went in even to the accessories of this figure. Now, as with these kind of movie figures, you know, McFarlane, Nika, that style of figure, there isn't a whole lot of articulation to them, and often they're only really designed to look good in one pose. You know, technically they're action figures, you can move parts of them, but really they're just kind of mini statues, really. I just take away the clown's gun. He does have neck joint there. Does move at the elbows. His hands have separate articulation to them. There's no waist articulation there, any in the legs. He has articulation in the feet. So with the limited articulation, he is really sculpted and designed with this pose in mind, with holding his gun. But I have played around with him, and I am quite taken with a pose like that. There. He looks ready to kick ass and shoot popcorn. I'll just go handheld just to give you a close-up so you can get a better idea of the detail I was talking about. This clown is probably the lead clown in the movie. He probably gets, out of all the clowns, the most screen time. It's also featured on the cover of the DVD, which I flashed earlier. And then I'll just give you a better close-up of the victim in the cotton candy cocoon. Looks great. Anyway, I'm going to be packing Mr. Clown here in my top pocket, and we are going to hot-foot it to Leicester Square to catch killer clowns from outer space. I will see you on the other side of me having seen it. Ta-ta, people. Hey everybody, it's Glenn. So I went, I saw, I ate complimentary cotton candy. I'm back from the screening of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, still clutching my program/zine that was given out to all members of the audience, and this zine actually encapsulates the heart and spirit that the program has put into programming this film in the Good Bad Movie Club series. The zine contains why it was chosen, the kind of personal story behind that, an interview with the creators, and this is my favourite page. It has a colour your own clown page, which you better believe the second this video ends I'm breaking out my blooming crayons and colouring this bad boy in. I think I've made pretty much clear how excited I was about seeing this movie, but I actually enjoyed it even more than I thought I would. It was great to be part of an audience of people like-minded who, like myself, were there to celebrate the best that bad cinema has to offer. We had a lot of fun. It's, you know, the hundreds of times I've seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, this is by far and away the most I've enjoyed it. And it goes beyond the movie. Like I said, the spirit of fun that they framed the movie in was done very well. Like when we went into the cinema, you know, sat down, and at the cup holder that you get at the end of your armrest, was a cup of cotton candy for everybody. It was kind of a nice little touch like that that really got people in the spirit of the movie. And also, before it begun, they played trailers, previews of a whole bunch of bad movies that they had wanted to screen as part of this series but couldn't get the theatrical rights to them or whatever. And that was amazing as well. I mean, there were, I don't know, 5 or 6 movies, previews that we watched. I could happily sit and watch previews, trailers of bad movies till the cows come home. That was fun. Anyway, I'd better wrap things up here. I tend to ramble. But please do comment, rate and subscribe. Check out in the description below. I will be adding linkage to the Prince Charles Cinema where Killer Klowns was screened, and you'll find out information there if you click the link about future films they'll be screening and whatever else those guys get up to. I'll also put in linkage about other things that I've mentioned in this video. And now it is all eyes on the 2nd of July. Coming next, Garbage Pail Kids the movie. You better believe I'll be there.